Hi everyone, we are presenting to you our lib app, which is Recipe Recon, and this is our Sprint 1 goal. And the Sprint 1 definition is creating a functioning recipe calculator web application. The application should allow users to create accounts and see recipes to their accounts. And these are our goals. We have still many of them to achieve. And over to Kathleen.
This is our definition of done. We wanted to have all user tests written, our code complete, the code having comments, no errors, passing all acceptance tests, and the product runs smoothly with no bugs. These are the user stories we managed to complete. In Sprint 1, we had a bit of an issue, which will be talked about later, but this is our burn down chart. So those are the user stories that ended up getting finished. This is our app. From the start, you get opened up onto this page. You can search up different recipes. There's a gallery of recipes that you can search up to put in initially. If you click on one, then you get taken down here and you can put in what serving size and recalculate it from there. You can create your own. Anyone else take the floor?
All right. So this is all our branches merged together. What Caitlin showed was the main branch, and this is the branch with all our branches, which is not in the main branch as the database doesn't work. Like if I, for example, add a suggestion here, once I move to a different page, it doesn't save. So yes, we also didn't realize how much we rely on the database to actually work properly for our web application. Because apart from what Cation shown before, which is the browse recipes and the create your own, none of these other ones, such as the add a suggestion, save recipe, nor the login works.
That's why we have a couple. The user stories we have done were the ones on the first app, and the ones that are still in development are on that app, which we were held back and weren't able to complete as much because we didn't realize the scope of how big the database was. And we had a teammate who left us without much notice. So a lot of his user stories did not get completed in time because it was too much to balance in all of us.
Yeah, so we basically had to switch some of the user stories. So right now, like FIBA took over like his user stories that it was meant to create. So right now, these all the user stories that we weren't able to complete all relies on the database, which like due to like time pressures and not realizing how big like the database matters to our web application, we weren't able to finish our Sprint 1 goal. Only just like this, like the recipe calculator itself.
For the next sprint, though, we think that we'll hopefully have a lot. We now know that it's just us three doing it, and we know how big the database is. So by the next sprint, we'll definitely have the database completed, which will make every other feature and user story really quick and easy to compete compared to what it was, hopefully. And since there's only 3 of us now, we can now know how much we won't overestimate how much work we can actually get done as a group of 3, because we and bite off more than we can chew.
Yeah, we kind of underestimated like how much the user stories take to do. So that was also one of the reasons why was one of the problems that we face during this.
I can show a demonstration of recalculating a recipe, maybe, so that we can show that so if you want to recalculate a recipe, you'd put in your flour. So you have 1 cup of flour. You can change the unit, which is one of our user stories. Milk, and you want 300 mils of milk, and you want chocolate and 1 tablespoon of chocolate. So then you'd put your original serving size. So this is the recipe here. It only made 1 serving, and the desired servings, we want 10 servings of it. So you first recalculate, and it will spit out the recipe back there for you. I think that's most of it.
What about we can talk about the trends in the sprint burn down chart?
Oh, yes. So this is our sprint burn down chart. These other user stories we managed to get done and didn't. We definitely overestimated, because it's almost half of the user stories we weren't able to complete in time. Anyone else?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I can't think of. We managed to determine that user stories were done when, like, we developed them until they were done when they were fully functioning and they ran with no issues, and then they would be done when they were committed onto the main branch. I think so. That's how our user stories got developed. I think that's everything. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Nope.
Happy?